Hello everybody. Today I want to talk about one of my favorite content creators, Tectone. Yes, I know, but he's bald! I know, I understand. It's like, we do not judge. We listen and we don't judge. But what I want to talk about with Tectone is the fact that he has been involved in... Shut up. He's been involved in some drama, and I feel like the drama that he's been involved with is mostly one-sided, but he is very much an asshole. And this is why we love him. We love him because when other people show up in the content creation community and they start making accusations, they start being manipulative, they start being incredibly toxic, not just to the environment of creators, but also to the viewers themselves, he is one of very few large content creators who will step up and start that fight so that we can begin the process of fixing things. Unfortunately, Twitch has decided to take the side of the manipulators, the toxic people, and unfortunately the terrorist sympathizers. Yes, we're going to talk about that as well. But because Twitch has decided to take their side, they elected to temporarily suspend Tectone on Twitch for something that is so infinitely less egregious than what was done to him that I really can't even put it to words. And so I'm just going to let the bald man himself explain what has been happening.
Hey, you not. I am maybe 15 minutes into my stream on YouTube and Kick so far. I am, let's double check this, day 3 into my ban. And during this ban, I thought, okay, well, there's no way that it's gonna get any fucking dumber. There's no way that Twitch is gonna fuck up again. And let me just lay you some groundwork. So I have now been banned 3 times over the past 60 days. One of them admittedly was deserved.
And by the way, the other 2 times that weren't deserved, he was arguing back and forth with people who should have been permabanned months, if not years ago, right? Denims, Frogan and Hassan, and Mike from PA, and all of those orbiters who have called for the deaths of people, who have put out bounties on people, who have made criminal accusations of people with no evidence, actual slander, actual genocide apologia, actual terrorist apologia. They've engaged in things that are not protected speech. These are things that you should be getting arrested for. Not banned on Twitch, arrested. Okay? I will have this conversation with as many people as you want. This is not something you get banned for. The things that these people, Hassan's Orbit, has said are things you get arrested for. Jail time, okay?
I told a viewer to kill himself.
Deserved, probably.
I shouldn't have fucking said that, but to be fair, I had a really big tummy ache and he was being cringe in my chat and he was
Honestly, Twitch should have banned the viewer.
ruining solo leveling and I got a little bit angry, right? We've all had bad days. Anyways, since then, I have never told another viewer to inflict harm.
And by the way, in that moment, the viewer themselves was laughing in the chat, because I remember the viewer laughed in the chat as well, because it was funny in the moment. But yes, yeah, don't do that shit. Yeah, I understand that suspension. Yeah, kind of deserved.
Harm on them because I said, oh, that's bad. Skip forward a little bit. I get banned because I call Frogan fat after she said all American soldiers have PTSD. I feel like I'm a
To be fair, didn't she want to eat the Twin Towers?
broken fucking record at this point. And then fast forward again, 2 women call me a rapist, so I call them whores, and I get banned and they don't.
To be fair, the woman he called a whore, Denims, is in fact, like, literally a prostitute.
So, here's a little bit of an update. And this has never been said before on a YouTube video or a tweet. However,
well, not a prostitute, more like an internet stripper. Yeah, because she has a She has an OnlyFans. She doesn't like outright have sex with people for money. She just strips for money. So, you know, she's an internet stripper. And, you know, there's nothing wrong with that. But, like, when you start to pretend that there is a moral high ground to your profession, and you act as if you are a protected category, it's fucking weird. Like, no. No.
I have said this to some of my close personal friends in real life, and obviously my favorite people in the world, which is my beautiful children.
Me.
Here in my chat. I love them very much. So, a member of Twitch.tv official staff reached out to me. And you may or may not believe this, and there's going to be some things that I'm going to ask you guys to take my word for. And then there's going to...
I do think that it's, you know, you can believe him or not. I've yet to see the time where Tectone made a claim that wasn't just outright true. Later on down the line, I might be forgetting something, or I might just not be aware of whatever case exists of Tectone saying something, saying that he's seen it, and then later on he was just outright lying. But I haven't seen it.
Going to be things that I'm going to show you proof of. The thing that I'm going to show you proof of is the most important thing.
Okay.
So the thing that this whole video is about will be proven beyond a shadow of a doubt.
Good.
Okay? It will be.
Good.
And it's gonna fucking make you realize how retarded these people are running the fucking Twitch. It is insane. So I would like to tell you guys that Twitch staff reached out to me. And get this.
That makes sense.
I got
He's one of the biggest
an
creators.
apology.
He's not just one of the biggest creators. He is the person creating now the multi-streaming movement in 2025. Like, you have... Like, multi-streaming has been a thing for about a year at this point. I've been multi-streaming for a long time. But he is one of the people that is getting, like, a bunch. Like, I think he's gotten to, like, over 100, if not 200 at this point. Creators who were Twitch exclusive, streaming-wise, and he's gotten them to multi-stream on other platforms, which is a negative for Twitch, right? It's a positive for the viewers, it's a positive for the creators, but it is a negative for Twitch.
Mm-hmm. I did. I got an apology. Mm-hmm.
But did he get unbanned, though? Because, like, hey man, I'm sorry, I fucked up. That's not the same as fixing it. And fixing it is more important.
Mm-hmm. Big. Yeah.
It's why, like, nobody gave a shit about Logan Paul's apology, but all of Asmongold's fans loved his apology, right? Like, Logan Paul apologized, I have made a severe and continuous lapse in nobody gave a shit, right? He was still considered an asshole. And it took KSI coming in and helping to, you know, fix his image with the boxing and the Prime and the all that other stuff. And then Logan Paul went and fucked his image up again, and KSI has kind of fucked up his own image since then, which not great. KSI was always one of my favorite creators, but he's kind of become cringe since. But hey. It is what it is, right? Like, you can't lie with dogs and not expect to come up with fleas.
They said that we didn't...
Logan Paul is the dog in this situation, by the way.
...understand the matter fully.
The flea is Jake Paul.
And they asked me, is there anything we can do to make it up to you?
Unban him. Ban the people breaking the law. Not even the TOS. The law. They broke the law. Is it... Am I crazy here?
This is all true, by the way. This is all true. And trust me, you will see what will happen very soon.
Okay.
And you'll know it when it happens. And I'm not going to say what it is.
Is he gonna get Hassan banned? If he gets Hassan banned, that'd be crazy. Like, if the condition for him returning fully to Twitch is Hassan getting perma'd, that would be crazy.
I'm not going to say what it is because that ruins the fun.
I don't think it's gonna happen. It would be so fucking funny.
But something big is going to happen because I said, okay, if you'd like to make it up for me, then you can do this. I contact 40 of my moderators and
40?
I ask them to compile something.
He's got 40 moderators. That makes sense
for me.
That makes sense.
They compile.
He's got like tens of thousands of viewers across multiple platforms. Like, yeah, 40 moderators. That makes sense.
I have a massive 4.5 gigabyte folder, and I say, I would like you to do this. They see it, and they say, thank you for cooperating with us. We'll see what we can do. I say, thanks. Can I get unbanned? They say, of course, just submit an appeal.
Okay.
So I submit an appeal. There's 3 teams.
Yeah,
There's 3 teams, by the way.
Yeah.
This is how the unbanned ban system works. There is the upfront Twitch moderators, and then there is the appeal reviewers, and then there is the people who actually do the bans and unbans.
As somebody who's done some corporate work myself, yeah, corporate industries are very inefficient. Very, very inefficient. There's no reason, right? Like, they could just take all of those people in those 3 teams, meld them into a single team, and then just explain, okay, so you interact with your job is to go around and ban people. Your job is to receive the ban appeals and make the decision based on things. And then you've got like a small third group that handles like edge cases, right? You could take those 3 teams, split them into 45, 45, 10, and you'd be fine.
So I talk to the moderator.
45%, 45%, 10% on the categories that I explained.
They can say I can get unbanned.
Okay.
I go through the appeal system. I submit an appeal. It takes them 36 hours. Wait, no. 42 hours to review my appeal after submission. It's supposed to take 24 hours. My appeal was then approved, but I did not get unbanned because now it's fucking Saturday and I got my appeal approved at 11:30 Friday, and they're not gonna unban me till Monday.
And this is the problem, right? You have the team split into 3. One team talks to the creators, the other team receives the ban appeals, and the other team actually unbans people. Why? Right? Makes no sense. When I was working corporate, usually what would happen when I got a case, because I was the person who received the cases, right? I would get the case. I would say, okay, yeah, just I am going to make that thing happen, because if I do it, it takes 5 minutes. If you do it, it takes multiple hours, right? And that's what the Twitch team should be able to do in this regard. They should just be able to, okay, so you want to get unbanned, all right, so I'm making an appeal in your name because I am handling your case right now. So I'm going to make the appeal in your name, and then I'm going to go on our platform, talk to a person and go, hey, Tectone wants to get unbanned. He was not banned for cause, so you're going to go on his case and you're going to hit the approve button. And when you do that, send me a message letting me know. And when that happens, after I get that message, I'm going to take that case, I'm going to talk to the person on the 3rd team and say, hey, unban this guy because his appeal got approved. Now, this is how you, as somebody working corporate, are supposed to handle the corporate inefficiency. The best way to do it would be that there is the team that reaches out to creators, and then there's the team that receives the ban appeals and does the unbanning, right? The person reaches out to Tectone, says, okay, yep, I'm gonna make sure that you get unbanned. Make the appeal, send me a link. Or send me the appeal code, or send me like whatever ticket number it gives you. I've never been banned, so I've never had to go through this process. And then you do the appeal, you send it to him, they go, okay, they send it to the appeal team, and they go, hey, unban this guy. And then it's done within a minute or two, right? Corporate inefficiencies are fucking lethal.
Because their bans and unbans don't work on the weekends. So I get to stay banned for 2 extra fucking days because these people don't know how to do their jobs. Now, I just want to know.
I've had so many customers when I was corporate that were so fucking pissed because they're just trying to get shit done. And I'm trying to get shit done for them, but because they have to go through so many different corporate hoops, it's impossible.
Why in the fuck do you need 3 separate teams to do the job of one compartmentalized team?
Because each of those teams has a different manager and supervisor, and you need to create jobs for managers and supervisors because managers and supervisors are what you call middle management. These people have no skills. They're unemployable in pretty much anything that you might think of. They've got no charisma. They've got no tech skills. They've got no customer skills. They've got nothing. And so you need to create jobs for them. Because these are the people who have contacts, who have a daddy who is, CEO of a company, who have a daddy who is a lawyer, who have an uncle who is, Jewish. So you come up with all of these jobs for them. And when you have somebody whose job title is manager team lead, you need to give him a team to lead. And because this person has no skills, he leads the team like, well, dog ass.
You do not need the talkers to get them to submit an appeal, then you can't read the appeal. Because if you're already talking to them, that's when you make the judgment of when you're gonna get appealed. And then if it's just, then you press unban. Why do we need a 3 separate tiered system to enact justice?
Oh, it's not about the justice.
What?
It's entirely about creating jobs. That's it. That's all it is. They're just creating jobs.
Is something that people's livelihoods not gonna be taken into consideration and fixed because it's the fucking weekend. You can't just have it to where if the appeal gets approved, then they're automatically unbanned?
No.
How does anybody feel comfortable streaming to this website when the entire foundation is built off of what I would call as a compliment, mental retardation?
As a
because
compliment?
how dumb they are, I can't even think of a word to properly describe them. I want to remind you guys, at a point, I was living paycheck to paycheck off of Twitch. Before that, well, I was homeless, right? But regardless.
Honestly, a step up.
Because sometimes homeless people have money, and I do need to specify that. Homeless and broke. Because okay, just be real. In El Paso, Texas, homeless people make...
I saw in chat, somebody said it's overemployment. Yep, they're just creating jobs. That's all it is.
People make more money than a fucking teacher.
Should I just go to El Paso and be homeless?
Right? Like, genuinely. Because I think the average homeless person makes like $29,000 a year off of...
Like, imagine like a homeless person that gets a phone and an internet connection and just makes a Twitch account being homeless. That's it. That's his stream. He just streams himself being homeless and doing homeless shit. Like, all he has to do is not do drugs or drink and like do like crime. And I guarantee there would be morons on Twitch giving him money for no reason.
Tips, and that doesn't
triply so if it's a slightly cute woman.
Get taxed, but teachers made like 32,000, but that got taxed, so it went down to like 28,000 or some shit like that. This was a thing back in 2012. It was fucking ridiculous. That shit still blows my mind. Teachers are the most important job in the entire fucking world. Being a good parent and being a good teacher.
I disagree. I disagree that teachers are the most important job in the whole entire world. Hunters. How are we gonna get meat otherwise?
The two most important jobs, because the youth is the next generation, and if
Fuck them, they'll figure it out.
we are not taking care of the youth, what the fuck are we doing? That's a topic for another video. Teachers deserve higher pay.
Oh yes, I agree, but like, you know, meat. Hey, a teacher ain't gonna get me a steak, right? No
And
teacher
honestly,
can get you a steak.
Parents should really lock the fuck in and raise their kids right.
Agreed.
Stop fucking brainwashing them with Coco Melon and letting them listen to all these fucking woke.
My sister has 2 kids, and I've seen that she like would let him watch Cocomelon, and it straight up brainwashes them. Like the moment that fucking thing starts playing, the kids are like, and it's terrifying, right? Like they just fucking, they will straight up just sit there idle animationing and just stare at the screen. And I sent her like this like breakdown of all of the bad shit that Cocomelon has been doing to kids' brains and stuff, and hopefully she's not letting them watch that shit anymore.
Ass influencers that are gonna mind wash them and pump chemicals into their fucking body at 8 years old. All right, let's just, hey guys, how about we just let our kids watch SpongeBob? Regardless,
SpongeBob's a pretty good
if
show.
you are a Twitch streamer, how do you feel safe when incompetency runs rampant when it comes to terms with your livelihood?
Yeah, I don't think.
How do you feel?
I will be honest. Part of the reason why I started streaming on YouTube is because of all that stuff that's been going on Twitch, and part of the reason why I never started streaming on Kick was kind of for the same reason, because it felt like Kick was a bubble waiting to burst. Especially with the stake situation, right? Like, I feel like they're one piece of legislation away from being absolutely demolished, right? And as soon as that happens, Kick is just dead in the water. Because they make their money off of stake, and they use Kick as a platform where they're okay losing money on, because it drives people towards stake, which is a gambling site. And so I feel like that's like one bad legislation away from being destroyed. So I never really touched it. And to be fair, like, you can say, oh, but the money, brother. I ain't getting paid for this shit. I do this for the love of the game right now. I've been doing this shit for the love of the game for 2 years at this point.
Comfortable being like, you know what? I'm gonna all in on Twitch every day for 12 hours. And if you're a VTuber and you show a little bit too much hip, no, I didn't say tit, hip, you're gonna get banned.
Okay. To be fair, a lot of and I do think that it's bullshit that they say it's hips, because that is not why they're getting banned. A lot of the times where they say, oh, you got banned for having a little bit too much hip showing, she's wearing lingerie. Right? Her tits are like half a fucking pixel away from being out of the bra. Right? 90% of the time where a VTuber gets banned, they deserve that shit. That being said, so did a lot of women who stream in the same conditions and don't get banned. I think both sides should be banned. But that's just me, dog. I like titties as much as the next guy. I don't want them on Twitch. Because Twitch is PG-12, right? Twitch is for 12-year-olds and up. I don't want no 12-year-old looking at titties on the internet. I think it's fucking weird. Or, meh. I'll be honest. I was 13 the first time I went on the internet looking for titties. But I don't think it should be on fucking Twitch, right?
And for 7 fucking days.
Because I couldn't just go on fucking YouTube and look for naked yoga, mostly because I didn't know it was a thing yet. I only found that out when I was 16. But, like, come on, there's like levels to this shit.
And then here's the kicker. You get bans for 7 days, and then you get no ad rev for 3 weeks. Here's the reality of what I will be doing when I return to twitch.tv/takedown. I will be turning off all ads. I will be turning off all ads because I think the viewing experience on Twitch right now is fucking miserable. Punishing your viewers with 6 minutes of fucking ads every single time they boot up a stream is fucking insanity. And
Yeah.
I will be real, I'm bitter as fuck because when I lost all my ads were still running on my channel. And do you want to know why that is, lovely people of YouTube and Twitch and Kick and Twitter? Because while ads were running on my channel, guess who was collecting all the revenue? Wasn't me.
I do think that if you're a partner with somebody and, you know, you're punishing them for doing something that you consider to be wrong, I think there's still the matter of having respect for your partner, where you should not be monetizing their channel and then not giving them the money, because it's their channel. And so I do think that is incredibly disrespectful, especially for somebody as big as Tectone, who absolutely brings in millions of dollars for Twitch and whatever platform he's on. So I do think that shit is disrespectful as fuck, and it hurts the partnership.
It was Twitch. They ran ads on my channel that I was getting 0% of, and they took all of that.
Yeah.
Do you want to know why there's so many people coming at me right now, and there is only one other man who has covered my vindication? Asmongold, by the way.
I am now added on that list, I guess. Because I do think that this is ridiculous. I've been I tried to go talk about gaming for a bit, but like, there's a lot of this stuff that I do want to talk about, and so last week we talked about Banana, Juju, and this week we're talking about Dictone.
Love you, dog. Appreciate you. You the fucking man. Because they're lying to you. Do you know how many people on the internet have lied on me to give me this reputation? Let's be real.
A lot of people.
Let me give you my proper...
Wasn't Mink saying that she lived with Tectone? And she just never did, like, they met one time?
Descriptor. I am a fucking jackass. I am brash as fuck. And honestly, I'm probably a little bit too autistic, because even though I like telling the truth, there are some things that I maybe just shouldn't say that I say anyways. I am a dickhead. I am an asshole. I am a jerk. But the problem is, all these dipshits online want to label me as a criminal. Are you guys noticing how in 2025, I'm getting bigger and bigger and bigger? So the lies that people tell about me have to get bigger and bigger and bigger. You want to know why that is? Because these people are horrified of people who tell the truth.
Yeah. I think they're just horrified at having any amount of actual real competition. Like, you know, I talked about Hassan earlier. Hassan is one of the biggest perpetrators of this, and it's kind of why it's become so popular on the internet, because it's almost always somebody that is either a fan of his type of content or just connected to him in some way that resorts to this sort of strategy. Because Hassan's way of doing it, I already went over this before, it's all about misrepresenting your opponent and then attacking that misrepresentation. It's like, oh, somebody's saying something bad about me. Isn't he a murderer? Isn't he a rapist? Isn't he a thief? Isn't he a racist? Isn't he a Nazi? Isn't he this or that or a third? And then from that point on, you can say whatever the fuck you want about this person because, well, you've already radicalized your audience against them by just dropping in that word.
Why the fuck do you think they go on Asmongold so much? Because that's another motherfucker who tells the truth. Why the fuck do you think they go on the Unsubscribed podcast so much? Because those are other motherfuckers who tell the truth. And are you noticing how one side fight with the truth and the other side fight with lies? I call Frogan fat. Truth.
Yep.
I call Denim's a whore. Truth. They call
It's mean. It's mean, right? It's mean. It's not untrue.
me an abuser. False.
Yep.
They call me
Slander.
a criminal. False. Unless
Slander.
you're talking about arson. Maybe I killed one person with a death note, but honestly, that had to have been a coincidence. There's no way that I'm a celestial fucking being.
What?
But this is the reason why people are going crazy, is because the amount of falsified information that is running rampant on the internet in 2025 is insane. And the amount of mental wherewithal you have to merely inform people of what is right and what is wrong is insane. Do you know how mad it makes people when you all refer to me as a martyr?
I mean,
Do you know how many videos I've seen of people losing their mind when all I say is, I'm a good person? Do you know how mad that makes them?
Very.
Let me give you the number, guys. 37. 37 videos I've seen. I've watched them all. I like watching content that hates on me. I like it because sometimes I learn, but usually I just get a good laugh. It makes these people so mad when people call me a good dude, a good person, a good streamer. It makes them so mad when you say he died for our sins.
He died for our sins.
He's a martyr.
Oh, shut the fuck up.
Drives them insane.
You jerk to the
Guys,
bits.
I have seen a 58-year-old, bald, beardless man get so angry, and you guys know who I'm talking about.
I don't.
So angry.
Who the fuck is he talking about? Holy shit. 57-year-old, bald, beardless? Brother, how do you have that many L's in your life?
He started drooling with how rent-free I live in this guy's fucking head. Just to name...
Isn't drooling like a sign of a lobotomy? Like uncontrolled drooling, like a sign that you might have had up in your brain?
Name one. Because this is their strategy. They lie about me, and this is how they deem me a bad person. Because they believe the lies of other people. I want you to understand this on how crazy this is. These people are so obsessed with taking me down, their number one strategy is weaponizing a liar.
Yep.
Where anything they say is the truth and anything I say is a lie. When there has been zero proof of me doing anything wrong. Nothing. You want to know why that is? Do you want to know why it's been a year and there's still been nothing?
He's talking about the accusation that Pink Chew threw at him. And like, I'll be honest, Pink Chew is a fucking baddie, right? But this is why you don't put your dick in crazy. Because Tectone dated this bitch for a bit, and she has just decided that her way of getting clout right now would be to try to ruin his career. Like, just copy the Jessica Negri formula. Just be nice to people, show your titties, and be fun and quirky. That's all you gotta do. You're already super fucking hot. Why do you have to be insane?
Because to quote a great man, Thriller Bark, One Piece, Best Straw Hat, one of them, Zoro, the Samurai.
Okay. I was like, Thriller Bark? Like, is that a character? Or it's an art? I haven't gotten that far into One Piece yet, but Zoro is the best.
Nothing happened. I agree, chat, a gaslighting circle jerk. And this is happening to me. And I want you to understand to how many other people that this has happened. They make a mountain out of a molehill. Anything you say is a lie. Anything going against you is the truth. They are full of shit, deceptive fucking liars who are desperate for analytics, so they believe anything and they post any rage bait to fit a fucking narrative so that way they can get their numbers up.
Yeah, and it's not necessary. Not only is it not necessary, it's actually detrimental long term, because if all you do is create enemies by lying, by, doing all this garbage where you're manipulating your audience, you're portraying yourself as the victim of some crime that never happened, eventually a time is going to come where you are on the wrong side of the exact same weaponized audience that you've created. Because the thing with a mob is that eventually it disperses. Because the mob is created to attack somebody. It's a ravenous fucking beast composed of a lot of angry, stupid people. And when the angry, stupid people are finished mauling whatever they're mauling, they get up and they look around. Nothing else to do. Okay, everybody go back to your business. And the mob dies. It disperses. In the YouTube, Twitch, Kick, content creation sphere, that's not how it works, because the mob stays. Because the mob is now your audience. And now that you've finished weaponizing them and riling them up and radicalizing them to aim at something, and they go and they kill that thing. Like, ah! Now what? She's not as good of a person as she said. Ah! And that's what happens every fucking time. It's happened to so many creators. It's happened to Asan, of all people, right? One of the people with the most weaponized fucking audience. It's happened to Destiny. It's happened to Fresh and Fit. It's happened to Andrew Tate. It's happened to fucking Ethan Klein. It's happened to Mr. Beast. Mr. Beast less so, because Mr. Beast kind of does completely different type of content, right? He does the type of content that fucking nobody else can do, basically. But it's happened to so many of these creators that portray themselves as the righteous paragons of virtue that they want themselves to be, and anyone beneath that standard is the worst person ever and needs to be eliminated. And then the moment that they stumble, the audience that they've whipped up into a mob comes for them and destroys them completely.
Parasites. They're leeches. They're failures. They're clout-chasing whores begging to God that you click their OnlyFans because they're too untalented and lazy to get a real fucking job.
Okay, but to be fair, Tecton, you literally just react to videos all day and play video games. Like, you are... If we're being real, Mr. Bald Man, you're on the same tier as them. We all are. Our whole thing is entertainment. The only difference between a Twitch streamer who plays video games and reacts to stuff and just talks all day and an OnlyFans model is that, you know, one is sex work and one is not. But at the end of the day, we all work the entertainment industry. We're all doing the same type of thing, right? Like, I would put entertainers who, like, do really high level videos, like, really highly edited stuff, like the Russian Badgers, the Maxors of the world, like, those would be, like, one step above. But I do think that we're basically on the same tier as the OnlyFans models. Which is why I do think that it's weird when an OnlyFans model tries to call on that for virtue, because there's really no virtue to it. There's no more virtue to working an entertainment job than there is to working a different entertainment job, right? It's all the same.
Like, anybody should give a fuck about you. I see dumbass OnlyFans bitch talking about, I lost 20 pounds. I'm so proud of myself. My weight loss journey's been incredible. Bitch, you got liposuction.
I take it back. I take it back. Like, if you do liposuction for 20 pounds, like, you couldn't exercise that shit off? Really?
Work for nothing. You have no purpose. You have no drive. You have no determination. You pay to take short.
He channeled his inner low-tier god there for a second. I thought he was gonna go a little bit harder, but he managed to reel it back. He reeled it back.
Cuts while real people in the world work to where they get at. But you take.
By the way, Tecton, if you watch this all the way to the end and you don't know who low-tier god is, come on, dog. Come on. I feel like Tecton would absolutely fucking love low-tier god. I feel like if he reacts to low-tier god, he will immediately boost low-tier god back up to the height of his career, if not more than that.
Any opportunity, you will lie to get to the top.
Which would be a bad thing. Low-tier god is like one of the worst people on the fucking internet.
You will fuck anybody to get them on your side. You are all pathetic. I will be here forever. And you want to know why that is? Because I don't gotta suck the dick of anybody.
Not even me?
Because I worked for everything, and I was handed nothing. And the handouts that I got honestly made my life harder than they were before.
I do think Tecton is one of the more inspirational content creators, because it's like he said, he created pretty much his entire fan base from nothing. He didn't really rely on collabs. He didn't really rely on major sponsorships. he was just that guy. And I think it's really inspirational, and he's kind of the reason why I do the type of content that I do nowadays. Like, I wanted to do, like, pure gameplay stuff, but it just wasn't vibing with me the way that I wanted it to, and I kept watching more and more of his content and Asmongold's content, and he's the reason why I went the content creation route that I did. And I'm really happy that I went this way, because I enjoy this way more than any other type of content that I've made before.
You think that everything that I've worked to get can vanish like that because your career came like that. After you sucked a couple dicks and you got a couple surgeries. My career was building this shit from the ground up by my fucking self. Going live every day, ignoring the fucking hate comments no matter what. Whether it was the retards from Arknights, these motherfuckers who thought I was cheating at video games because I was too fucking good, to all of the pussies who were mad because I didn't like your favorite video game. Eat my ass. And every single time I go live, every single time I get a new subscriber, it drives y'all fucking nuts. So suck my dick. You think I'm going anywhere? Yeah, fucking right. Bitch calling me a grifter. I've always been pissed off. See you on the next one. Appreciate y'all. Like, comment, subscribe.
Didn't he say he was gonna show evidence of something? Where the evidence? Where the fucking evidence, Techie? Anyway, I like Tectone. I think he's one of the fucking goats of YouTube and Twitch and all that shit. And yeah, man, big ups to him. And I'll see you guys next time. Have a good one. Cheers.